Alrighty, here we go. We're going to attempt to install this diesel heater. It's a Chinese diesel heater off Amazon. And if you know, the instructions are pretty terrible. So my biggest fear right now is having to cut holes in the bed somehow to exhaust the exhaust and the air intake. But I think I've located a spot to put it on the side that won't really affect anything. This heater will definitely be way overpowered for just a little truck camper. However, we bought it for a different project, thinking we were going to get a full-size camper and quickly change routes to truck cap. So we're just going to go with it, and hopefully it'll work. Let's see how it goes. That's a little terrifying if you ask me. Drilling through the side of the truck. Whew. Alright, I think I have it figured out now. This is a little box, and we're going to mount it through that hole on the side. And yeah, follow along and let's see. So I've mounted the fuel pump. It states to put it on a bit of a 30-degree angle. So we've done that on the inside here. I've just mounted it with a screw and a washer. And I will mount the heater through here, which will then go through there, and we'll put all our piping and stuff attached to that. Huh. Oh, it doesn't seem to fit that way. Once we've put that through there, we'll put the plate on here. Alright, so we have that mounted in here fairly secure. The fuel pump's in there. Next thing I'll do is mount the exhaust and the air intake for the burn chamber. I've already had this mounted once already, so I know how it should go in. I had no idea. Reading the manual is, it's tough. But it seems pretty straightforward if you kind of get the gist of what's going on. The idea behind the box is that in the summertime when we won't be using the heater, we can just leave it out and we'll gain a bit of storage. But I feel also it's easier to put this in as well as the battery and stuff prior to the bigger pieces. That way they'll just make it easier when taking it out and putting it in. I think, I don't know. And now I'll put it back in there. You might not be able to see that from here, but I cut a piece of pipe. So it's a plastic pipe just to keep it off of the edge of this. That way anything that rubs on it should be protected. Alright, so I kind of jumped the gun and I drilled a hole in the top of it for this whatever you want to call it. And then I realized that actually came with a spout at the bottom just to hook your line straight into. So I thought, great, so I did that. And then I was mounting a piece of wood to the outside, and I burnt a very, very little hole inside of this. And I figured I'll cut my losses and I will come up with a different solution. which I believe is going to be this here, just a regular jerry can. Red means gas, however, I don't care. I'll put diesel in it. And I think it'll be better for filling up if I put it right on top of the unit here. And I can put the new spigot here and it'll come out right to the pump like so. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so while I'm editing this video, I'll tell you a little bit about the heater. We installed it last January. We built this whole camper to go out west, do some winter skiing and stuff. And we didn't get time to edit the video, so now I'm just going back through and putting this whole thing together. So if you have any questions about how we've built it, just comment down below and I'll try to answer them as quick as possible. And if I get enough interest, I can kind of give you another walkthrough and maybe explain in more depth of how this heater works. But again, it's a 5,000 whatever it is heater I got on Amazon. It works great. It sips on the fuel and it keeps this cap really warm. It's a dry heat, so then it'll dry all of our clothes and everything like that. And I would definitely recommend going with a heater for your cap. It just makes life more enjoyable. And in this next clip you can see how we sit around, play cards, and can really enjoy our winter times in this camper and not be cold. We're just in the camper, as I always say, but turn it around there. So the heating system that I've talked about before, you know that we have a pipe coming out of here so that during the night our boots and everything will dry underneath here. And we've just adjusted this pipe now. Before it came out along the side here and it was way too hot. I can't do it with the music on. Silly Mark.
That was silly.
So as you know, we have a diesel heater in the truck camper. So one of the pipes, we have it teed off, comes out underneath here so that when the bed is made up, it'll dry all of our shoes and keep us warm from underneath. And then we've just added this top part here that swivels, and now it'll at least heat up the top part.
It's stuck.
Oh shoot.
I was gonna give you a demo. There we go.
So there we go. So yeah, it swivels now. And the problem with having it, we had it just kind of mounted underneath here, is when we were sleeping it was blowing right against us. And when it was blowing right against us, it was way too hot. So the person right against the heater, their legs were way too warm. And the rest of us were fine, but now the idea with it being a little bit higher up there is it'll kind of heat up the whole cab space versus just right against the leg. And hopefully we can keep the heater on. A couple weekends ago it was -8 or something, and halfway through the night it was just too hot in here, so we cut the heater off and we just had our duvet and it was fine. But tonight it'll be -15, maybe -20 maybe. So we'll probably have the heater on all night, and we should be able to kind of heat the whole cab versus just the leg.
It was way too hot.